So you have an update on Diddy, right?
So
are we doing an update?
So Cuff Daddy is in trouble.
Oh, God.
P. Diddy ain't looking pretty. He's got a lot of problems on his plate, and he just got denied again, second bail. He applied for bail again a third time. I got some news for you. He ain't getting out. And he thinks he's getting out because he keeps hiring new lawyers thinking that, oh yeah, I got money. If I hire a new lawyer, I'll be out. Sean, you ain't going to come out. You've been tampering with witnesses. This judge has told you that he doesn't trust you. Sean doesn't understand that. Sean thinks by hiring more lawyers, he's going to increase his odds in getting out. But all that's going to do is, take away money from his bank account.
Is he changing his legal team constantly?
He added Tenny Garrigo. Well, Tenny's already part of it. Okay. He added another person.
That's daughter?
Yeah.
Mark's daughter?
He added another death penalty attorney. He's got somebody else. He thinks, there's a saying, too many chefs spoil the broth. There's no way that these attorneys are going to do anything special for him. But the psyche of the defendant is very interesting. When they're in there, they got a lot of time to think, right? So Sean is thinking, I got to do something. Trying
to make moves.
I got to do something. Mark's not doing stuff for me. I got to do this. I got to do that. But you know what? The best thing that Sean Combs could do is do nothing. Let the lawyers do their job, and you just sit back and let them work their way to your victory. Because by him constantly changing these lawyers, it's not doing him any good.
Right.
And he ain't going to come out. And by the way, there's been some new developments.
But victory seems far-fetched.
Forget about it. They're going to file a superseding indictment right now. All right. Which means they're going to file new charges against him. There are other people, and I believe Karina Karam, one of his CEO, she's already flipped. Okay. There are a lot of people that have already flipped. It's entirely possible that the other members of the entire enterprise of Bad Boy has already been charged, Tony. The entire Bad Boy, and it's under seal, and you and I don't even know about it.
Got it. So they're being charged secretly, potentially,
pursuant to plea agreements,
and then doing agreements where they flip on Sean.
Yes, and it's possible that additional people are going to be charged. And what's going on right now is that these people, like Karina Karam, they're flipping on Diddy. And the only way that Sean Combs is going to get out of this, and people were asking me, do you think there's any way? The only way that the government will leave you alone is if you give him bigger fish. And Sean Combs is a big, big fish. In fact, I'd say is like a whale, a tuna whale. So who's he going to give up? I'm thinking, again, I'm making this up and I don't have any evidence. And again, Sean Combs is innocent until proven guilty. Hypothetically, let's just say he says, oh yeah, the senator was involved. DiCaprio was involved. Jay-Z was involved. Whatever. He drops like 6 names that they have no idea. Yeah, he's going to get a reduction in time.
Which the internet is already running crazy with names like
right.
This. Like
And
Jay-Z, Beyonce,
right.
Pierce Morgan's apologizing for bringing them up but in a different capacity.
And we don't know. Or this is all speculation, but I'm just saying the only way that Puffy could, or I should say Sean Combs comes out of this is if he says, I got somebody big. How would you like Bill Clinton on a silver platter?
At a freak out?
Yeah. Something like that.
On video.
Right. Something like that. Then the feds are like, oh, okay. Well, this is different. Now we're going up the food chain.
But he had video of all these freakouts, don't you think?
Freak off. Yes. Every single freak off was videotaped. They have every single.
Probably multiple angles.
Yeah, multiple angles. They got video, audio.
Night vision.
Jaguar Wright, who's a former pop star, now she's like an anti Sean Combs advocate. She said she has videos herself, which is weird and stupid to say because she's going to get subpoenaed. She says she has videos of sex workers doing illegal things, spiking the bottles. Apparently they were using rubbing oil, and putting GHB in the rubbing oil, putting GHB inside the liquids, any liquid, whether it was a drink or your oil. That's how it was getting in your system, apparently. They were rubbing, massaged into the, yeah, that's what an attorney made a claim. And
so much more deviant because like Sly, you would
very
know
Sly,
that's
yeah.
happening.
And there's 100,
never heard of that.
And there's 120 other people right now that are suing Sean Combs since we last did our podcast, and 3,000 people that I've called that have said Sean did the same thing to me. Now watch this.
That could be the crowd effect.
Fine.
That's the sort of like the halo effect of
fine.
One person sees an alien and 3,000 draw the same exact image.
Yeah, everybody wants cloud sharing. They want their own clout, right? But the thing is this. 120 people, Tony Buzbee said, who's one of the attorneys that signed up all these people. By the way, it was a genius idea, putting a hotline. I should have done that. Who's been hurt by Puffy? Please call me. So he did that. These people called him. He has 120 solid pieces of evidence, of video against A-list actors that he said you will know that are bigger than Sean Combs. Think about that. Bigger than Sean Combs. And he said there were 2,000 other people that were all legitimate, but he said that they weren't necessarily lying. They just didn't have evidence. So he only took the ones with solid evidence. So he got 120 nuclear warheads facing Sean Combs. They're all going to go off. I mean, this guy's cooked.
He's cooked, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else we're going to even say about him. I mean, it's just a bad situation getting worse.
Well, it's not just that, Tony. There's going to be other people coming out. There's going to be other, people in the woodwork that are going to come out and say, you know what? It wasn't just Puff Combs. It was a lot. There's females that are being alleged that are aiding and abettors. Like they're saying Young Miami, who was his girlfriend, was apparently threatening a lot of these girls that were coming after him. She might get, indicted. I said the Corinne Karam, who's their CEO, who did all this, set up all the parties. She's going to get indicted or probably cop the deal. All the bodyguards cop the deal. They're flipping right now. And all these people are going to be going to prison. It's just a matter of how much time. So they're all going to flip on P. Diddy or Sean Combs. It's just a matter of how much time these people are going to get.
Isn't it oddly reminiscent of the Epstein situation?
The difference is Epstein had underage girls. So far, Sean Combs has not been alleged to have underage people. However, the lawsuits say yes. Yeah. The lawsuit alleges one 9-year-old boy. Well, Cassie wasn't underage.
No. I know she wasn't.
Yeah.
But in her complaint, I thought when we first discussed it, there were allegations of underage girls, but that might have been pressure.
I think you're thinking of Rodney Jones lawsuit.
Perhaps.
Rodney Jones
came number 2 after Cassie.
Yes.
Maybe that was just to put pressure for a settlement.
Maybe, or maybe it was a rumor and they didn't want to find out.
I got you.
And what's substantiated?
Isn't explicitly the underage issue here, which there was in Epstein. Because in Epstein, you can see how that would serve a very, very specific purpose. Compromise-wise or espionage-wise, right? You need them to be underage.
Right.
Because then you could just go to the guy and be like, oh, you had fun that night?
Yes.
Guess what? That mirror was two-way, and that girl was underage.
Right.
And here's a tape of it, just so you know. You own that person at
yes.
that point.
Yes.
And I was thinking, is Diddy like trying to borrow from secret intelligence and Mossad and do this kind of stuff? But apparently not.
Well,
he doesn't have the underage factor, so he's just doing freak offs, having a good time.
Well, now yet he doesn't have, but according to Tony Buzbee, there were 9-year-olds that were taking advantage of a rapper that apparently a young kid that he molested.
That's different. That's like straight up pedophilia. That's different than the Epstein thing of like hiding underage girls.
Right, but there's an So there's an accusation, though.
Yeah, that's bad.
So they're suing him. So that's what I'm saying is do you think the federal government is going to investigate that?
Yeah, everything.
Of course they are.
Everything.
Do you think there's more charges now going to come that a 9-year-old is so?
Yeah.
So there's so much more going on. And what's interesting is, and I told you in the first podcast, I was like, look, they're not going to let the executives go down. I said the record companies aren't going to be going down. The record companies are putting up the cash. Record companies are behind every single piece of music that Sean Combs has been doing. They give him cash to have these parties, go serve Cîroc, go have this, go have that, but they're not going down. I think this all stemmed, and there's a lot of speculation, and again, it's just speculation on my part. This all started from a lawsuit that he started against Diageo. Do you know Cîroc? Do you know Cîroc vodka? Do you know this idiot sued Diageo saying that there was racism going on, that they weren't promoting Cîroc as much because he was black, and they sued for that?
I mean,
let me ask you.
We're in a weird cultural time where a lot of idiots were race baiting to try to get ahead. I think we're still in that a little bit, but hopefully that tide has ebbed a bit.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think these guys at Diageo who own, all these spirit companies, vodka companies, Jack Daniels, major multi-billion, $100 billion company, do you think they're going to let Sean Combs sue them for billions of dollars? Or do you think they're going to make some phone calls and say, hey, listen, we hear this guy's got some white parties going on. Why do you look into this? Why don't you get an investigator, find out what's going on? Maybe we could get some people to sue him and get him off our backs. So here's my argument, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, but here's my argument to Sean. Here's my argument to anybody. before you sue anybody, make sure your underwear is clean. Because if your underwear is not clean and you sue somebody, you're going to get your ass handed to you.
Because they're going to turn around, get a good lawyer.
Yep.
The first thing that lawyer is going to go is, let me see what's under the rug over there.
How do I destroy Sean? Oh, he's got white parties. I bet you did some shenanigans there. Let's look into that. Make a phone call. Hey, by the way, I know you do lawsuits and stuff like that. Did you know that Sean was giving GHB and doing stuff like that? Then a lawyer starts investigating, making phone calls. He gets one client,
Right.
2 clients, 3 clients. You just opened the dam.
So are you saying this is how it started for
Of
Diddy?
course it did.
But Cassie's complaint was the real main beginning.
And who called Cassie's lawyer to tell him to go after
so you
to go
think
after
it
him?
could have been them, or
You think that's a coincidence?
No, I don't know.
You don't think lawyers know each other, make phone calls and say, hey, buddy, listen, why don't you go after this guy? He's got a lot of money. I heard he did this to Cassie. We got information about that hotel that he paid people off. You don't think there's enemies out there, dark enemies that could
so
go
you
and make
gotta
some
be-
phone calls?
You got to be careful who you bring the lawfare against.
By the way, you don't think I could sick some dogs on some of my enemies and make some phone calls to some lawyers and say, this guy's dirty, let's file a lawsuit or a temporary restraining order or whatever? And you're talking about billion-dollar corporations. You don't think that happens when people sue each other just so they could let the cat out of the bag and find all the dirty laundry? Of course. So Combs suing Daggio was the dumbest thing in the world.
Wow. So that might have
Dumb.
triggered the house of cards to come down.
Absolutely. Absolutely could have triggered the hard. Is that a
He
coincidence?
got greedy. He got real greedy.
Yeah, he wanted. Yeah, exactly. It's like I would have told Sean, I'm sorry, you're not going to make an extra $100 million this year. Boo hoo, you're going to make only $50 million this year. Like his ego got to the best of him. I can't do that to Sean Combs. They're doing it because I'm black, because I'm racist. And they said some guy admitted it in a report. It says one of the executives admitted that, yeah, we're not doing it because Cîroc is more of a cultural black hip hop thing, and he got pissed off. Maybe he had a right to sue him, but I would have sat down with Sean and said, Sean, are you crazy? You're having these white parties. How about if anything gets out? How about if somebody starts investigating you? You should duck your head in the sand. Forget that. You're making money with Cîroc. Be happy. Don't be greedy.
But I get what you're saying. But given the level and the frequency and the magnitude of these freak-offs,
Yeah.
how much sand is there to dig your head into? How the hell do you get out of that? I mean,
You can't.
cat was going to come out of the bag at some point.
No, I don't think so, because everybody.
How could he have gotten away?
Because he had NDAs and everybody's scared of a non-disclosure agreement. So everybody was scared to death. But now nobody's scared to death because people are finding out and waking up
only
that
thing
NDAs
that's-
have no power anymore.
Everybody's always scared until one maverick comes
That's it.
forward.
Yep.
And then other people have no choice but to come forward,
Yes.
especially when they get subpoenaed.
Right.
So, like,
Including Cassie.
his calculation was that everybody would stay shut up forever, because that's not a smart calculation.
no,
All
look-
it takes is one person to come forward.
But this has been going on since the beginning of time. There are many NDAs right now out there where people have been sexually assaulted, and they're watching the news and go, wait a second, I could call the police? I didn't know that. I thought the NDA means I can't call the police. So nobody has any idea, unless you're a lawyer. You think the NDA shields you? It's a trick. It's a big trick. Lawyers like the Sean Combs lawyers and everybody, they make you sign an NDA thinking, oh, I can't talk about it. Yeah, you can't talk about it with other people, but you can report it to the police. That's exception to the rule. They can't sue you for that if it's a crime.
Right.
So you could go to the police. So there you go. Whoever's listening.
That's because you can't contractually limit a crime.
That's right. You can't
contract is void if it's a crime.
That's right.
If it's about a criminal.
You can't stop somebody voiding them from contacting the police. So that NDA doesn't mean diddly squat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So if everybody's listening to this podcast, and if everybody takes my advice, every single person that has an NDA will go to the police and say, I just listened to American Crime Podcast. I heard that I could still report my crime. And the cop's going to say, of course you can. Right. And there's going to be an influx of cases.
Right. No, that makes sense. If
And
it's
then-
criminal related.
And then I'm sure Bad Boy Entertainment will send some people by my house. So I got to get my guns ready. Because they'll be like, yo, take that boy RJ down. He's saying some crazy shit on YouTube.
Let's go. I'll help you load them up.
It's making my job. RJ's giving me a hard time. And now I got 300 extra people because of that podcast, because of the NDA disclosure, right?
Let's go load them up.
He's done. I think that Sean's making all the wrong moves. I think that there's no way he's going to get out. He's going to do 20, 30, 40 years. I don't know, but I mean, it's going to be a sad, tragic Greek tale.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
By the way, do you know that Tony Buzbee announced there's going to be 4 to 5 major people, I just told you, that nobody's ever heard of, When that comes out, I'm going to predict that there's going to be a day in the media like we've never seen since OJ. I'm going to say OJ version 2.0, maybe version 5.0. You're going to see a sea of reporters. You're going to see many different people coming in, whether it's Ashton Kutcher, DiCaprio, Jay-Z, whoever. And again, these people have not been charged. I'm just giving examples of big players that may come forward. Justin Bieber.
Coming in to do what? To testify?
Either to testify against or testify in favor of. I think Justin Bieber will absolutely get subpoenaed. There's no way that he hasn't already got subpoenaed. There's no way that he has not spoken to the FBI, to the Department of...
what would he be saying to them?
They asked him, when you hung out with Sean Combs, on that video when he's like, we're going to go buck wild for the next 48 hours. What did you guys do? So it's going to be, oh, we just drank. Oh, so he gave you alcohol. That's illegal, number one. What else did he give you? You gave me some marijuana. That's illegal. So drug distribution. What else? Lap dance. Oh, yeah. Who gave you the lap dance? A girl. How old was the girl? I don't know, 19, 20. Oh, so there you go. That's molestation right there. Getting a girl to dance.
Lap dance is molestation?
A girl on top of, yeah, of course. If you get a girl to go on top and sexually stimulate.
Justin Bieber was underage?
Yes, of course. Yes. It's molestation. You can't do that. Now Sean Combs might think that's cool, but it's against the law. So who knows what Justin did? And I guarantee you one thing, there's another video and you could go up on YouTube and you could watch this, or just surfaced, where Bieber is complaining about a Lamborghini that Puff Daddy owes him. And he says, I'm still waiting for the Lambo. And he gets upset. Sean Combs gets upset. He goes, now Justin knows better than to talk on national television about business against big brother Sean Combs that he knows shouldn't be anybody's business. So he's sending signals to him like, shut the hell up.
Not very secretively.
Not very secretly, but you don't get it.
Unveiled.
But everybody's laughing because it's funny because they're big people, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, now when you look, it's under the surface. When you take a look at it now, you're like, okay, we know what's going on. Maybe even the pat down when we're taking a look at the video is like, when you look in the video, now you look at it differently. Maybe he was patting him down for wires.
We did a little commentary on that. I was pretty convinced it was just like...
Right, you were.
Just bro body.
You were.
Love.
But now when
you kind of like touchy-feely, hey, what's up? But
yeah, but when you look at it now again, he's pulling on the T-shirt. He's pulling on to see if there's anything on there. He's letting go. He's telling Bieber on national television, you shouldn't be talking about what Big Brother Sean Combs said. All these little things, if you look at it now, the secrecy and stuff, it just looks strange. And they're going to ask Justin what happened. Of course they're going to ask him what happened. Just the way Macaulay Culkin. Do you remember him? Home Alone, the actor?
Of course, yeah.
He was asked what happened to Michael Jackson. Now, till today, Macaulay Culkin said, I swear to you, the guy's dead. Why would I lie for the guy? He did nothing for me, nothing to me.
Yeah.
So that's different. But in this case, we have a little bit, it's a little different because you got different victims, different fact pattern. But
all right, we're watching it. I know we're going to be back in here.
We are. And let me end this. There's going to be a superseding indictment very, very soon. And when that happens, they're going to charge, I believe, Diddy most likely with other acts, possibly underage acts. And when that happens, I think it's game over. If there's one boy that says, or an allegation of a 9-year-old boy being touched, it's game over.
We'll be here.